If you guys know a good like organic spray, it looks horrible. There's no time for them to make cucumbers. Like, look at this. Hi friend, welcome to Acre by the Water. My name is Krystle. Today I want to make a little garden tour because I've been neglecting my garden with everything that's been going on. If you've followed the journey, I just lost my beautiful baby boy, my little cat, and I'm still grieving right now. So I have been neglecting my garden, but I'm trying to catch up. I'll take stencil outside and we'll go see the garden. I'm pretty excited to show you. Okay, so first the garden I guess starts with behind the house here. So this raised bed has been doing amazing. You'll see up in the garden I'm having a lot of issues, and one of this issue I think has to do with the fact that it's a first year garden, and the soil I got, it seems to be lacking in nitrogen. That's my theory. But behind the house here, it's doing excellent. This is the new soil I got and a bit of branches. There's no old soil in there, but it's been doing beautifully. We've actually also have our first straw flower come out. It's my first time growing straw flowers, and it's so weird. Like, can you hear this? It's like paper. It's so cool. I was hoping we'd get straw flowers. Rebecca is the leaves are doing nice, but there's no flowers yet. But I did see on the property, I think it's like up front and like this wild area, we do have Rebecca already, like wild. It's just these ones that I planted were wow, the leaves are so soft. Oh my goodness. These ones are cappuccino. I'll put a picture right there. And like the middle, if I remember, is like purplish. So I really want to have Rebecca. It's just, I planted them a bit late. We do have a lot of chamomile in this bed. This one was accidental. This one is meant to be there. And we haven't had any flowers here yet, but in the garden I've like harvested like 10 baskets already of chamomile. It's doing super great. Basil has been trimmed, oregano, parsley, peppermint. There's a bit of peppermint in there. Lemon balm, oregano again, basil again. I've harvested quite a lot of this, so it's doing great. This is echinacea. No flowers have come up yet, but last year they came up pretty late, so I think we're still in time. The leaves have been munched on. I think it's Japanese beetle. We've had a lot of Japanese beetle here. And then I planted oregano, and peppermint here, and no oregano is coming out. This is just weeds. This is actually wild strawberries for some reason. But we did have one peppermint. I think it's a peppermint here. Let me just smell it. Yes, it's peppermint. But that's all that came up, so we'll see what happens with this. Milkweed, nothing, like no flowers came up. It's a bit late, but I did put it in soil pretty late, so. Oh, you're stuck. Next are these two beds around the fire pit. So with what's been happening with Hustle being sick and our grief, we haven't been doing anything, so it's getting a bit late to plant stuff. So what I was thinking was maybe in the fall, or maybe soon, maybe September, I have a packet of cover crops in the basement, so I'll add some cover crops to both of these two beds just so that it can feed the soil, because like I told you, what you'll see up in the garden is this soil is lacking a lot of nutrients because it's never had anything planted in it, which I was expecting. I told you guys the first year will be a sad year for the garden, but I'm okay with it. So cover crops are gonna go in there, and it's gonna feed the soil so that next year I can plant in these. And anyways, I'll top everything with some more soil and compost either in the fall or next spring, maybe both. We'll see. Stencil, cutie. She's like not sure. Oh, and Phil got this gazebo. It was meant for the cats, but change of plans, you know. I'm loving the way this well is looking like. And also Phil cleaned up here a bit and it looks so much nicer. Look at this. And the orchard, we'll go see the orchard later too. And Phil, I asked him the other day when he was mowing the lawn if he could leave this patch of clover flowers, because there are so many insects, especially, I don't know, I don't think you can see on camera, but I can spot at least 6 bumblebees right now. Oh, and some bees. Oh my god, they're so cute. He left this little patch here. It's just clover flowers. And then there's the wild area too they can go, but there's just so many flowers here. We wanted to keep it for them because they're loving it. Rhubarb is doing good. The dill is doing great. It's a small pot. There's some more dill there. They're small pots, but they're doing good. Stevia is doing good. I've been harvesting some. Peppers are doing good. Look at this chamomile. I'm gonna be harvesting some of them after this video. This pepper plant is doing good. Look at this. These peppers. Yeah. So just remember what these peppers are looking like right now. They're full, they're lush. This dill's doing good. Look at these peppers. They're doing great. They're all bell peppers, by the way. This one's doing good. This dill. So everything in the pots here are doing absolutely amazing. These peppers are about 2 feet tall, which is great. So remember this, because you'll see in the garden it's not doing well at all. In the greenhouse here, I want you to remember what the tomatoes are looking like here, okay? Because in the garden, they're not doing good. The plants are about 4 feet tall, 3 feet tall maybe, or 3.5. These are Roma tomatoes. No, not Romas. They're San Marzanos, but it's like a Roma tomato. It's a paste tomato, which is a determinate plant, which like, it's not gonna grow much more than this. So this is like the usual, like what Roma or paste tomatoes are supposed to look like. So it's beautiful. They're starting to put on flowers. They haven't started to produce fruit yet, just the flowers. Doing great. So remember how this is looking, because we'll compare this to the garden and you'll see. Oh, there's also cantaloupe here and here, which is doing okay. There's a cantaloupe here too, I mean. And there's a watermelon here. I don't think we're gonna get watermelon, but it's still cute to see. What's happening here for like why those plants are so beautiful. You haven't seen the garden yet, but you'll understand what I mean in a second. But these plants here are beautiful. What's in these grow bags? Obviously it's in a greenhouse, which is usually what you want for tomatoes. It always does better in a greenhouse. Well, for cold weathers like here in Zone 4 Canada. But these grow bags have actually last year's potting soil in it. It was a mix of mycorrhizae, I don't know how to say that word in English, but it's like a mushroom kind of compost thing, and it's a mushroom compost potting mix, something like that, potting soil, whatever. And I also blended some sheep manure in it, and it's had a lot of organic matter in it last year, and it broke down and it fed the soil, it fed the bacteria. So that's why I'm thinking these are really doing good, because this soil has like established itself. And same thing for these pots, they're all last year's soil. It has been topped with this year's soil just on top, and then I added some fertilizer, but the roots are mostly growing in last year's soil. So remember this. I'll go show you. Oh, and look at these beautiful strawberries. These are Fresca. They're just starting to put on some strawberries. And we have runners already here, so probably not this year, but next year I'll like transplant a couple of strawberries in other pots or somewhere around the land so that the runners can create more and more. You usually don't want to plant the amount you want because runners are going to create a lot of babies, but I just did this knowing that I was gonna transplant some strawberries elsewhere next year. And this is a huge, whoa, oh my god, I'm sorry, something was attacking me and I got scared. This is a huge weed. Like, how does a weed grow so fast and then you plant something and it's so slow, like, ugh. And these are alpine strawberries. They're doing so beautifully, and we did have our first alpine the other day and it was almost ready. It was pinkish, almost ready to eat, and then I came out the next day and something ate it. I was like, I wanted to eat the first alpine. Actually, it's not alpine, it's mignonette strawberry, but it's kind of like an alpine, so it's a small, elongated strawberry. But yeah, we do have some more coming up here. I know animals are all gonna get to it before me, but I'm trying to race them. I could put a cover on this, but I don't mind. But these are so full. Oh, another weed. These are so full. A bit too full. This is a weed too. What the hell is that? I think Stencil is whining. I'll just go check up on her. Okay, she thought she was stuck, but she was just stuck on grass. Aw. She's whining. I'll take her up here when I'm done with the tour. And we do have some chamomile here to harvest. I'll do that later. So these aw, Stencil. I can hear her. So these peppers here are, if you can see the difference between these pepper plants and the ones in the pots, they're a lot shorter. So you'll see the ones in the garden, they're really not doing good. But like I said, I realized that this soil, it was lacking in nitrogen from what I think. I haven't done a soil test, but from what I can see, like the plants are pretty yellow and small. So the other day I sprayed everything, the whole garden too, with fish fertilizer, and the next day I sprinkled some chicken manure pellets on top of every bed. I can already see that it's been helping a lot. So I know that next year's garden will be a lot better because it will have had this year's organic matter in it, and I'll leave the plants, I'll just cut the plants and I'll leave the roots in it just so that it can feed the soil. But that's my theory, because everything that's in last year's soil is doing so much better than in this year's soil. So that's the only common denominator that I found. But yeah, these are the pepper plants here. These are the ones I was gonna gift, but I decided to keep. Look at these guys, Stencil and Hustle. I miss this guy so much. Okay, and this bed here, this bed was not doing good at all. The spaghetti squash was very yellow, which this leaf is pretty yellow, but you can see the new growth with the fertilizer, it's a lot better. So the new growth is a lot greener, which tells me that that's really what the problem was, is that they were lacking nutrients. So I think the fish fertilizer and the chicken manure pellets really helped. Also, the basil is looking a lot better. It was very yellow and brownish at some spots and has been eaten a bit, but you know, that's the purpose of basil, is that the bugs go on the basil instead of the tomatoes. But I still wanted to harvest basil. So this plant, this is spaghetti squash again. It grew a lot more since the fertilizer. It's doing a lot better. The new growth is a bit greener, more like less yellow, and we have a lot of male flowers, which is a good thing. Loofah, it's getting eaten by something. It's fine. And then these are all cherry tomatoes, and they're doing pretty good. These are pretty big cherry tomatoes, to be honest. Look at this. which is amazing. Good. This is sweet cherry. Sweet cherry is all of this here, I think. Yeah. And then this one is the same as these ones, which are smaller. These ones are sweetie tomato. And yeah, you can see they're a lot smaller than the other ones, which is cool because I'm happy I have a variety. Oh, this one is yellow wing. We'll soon get our first tomato. We're pretty late compared to last year, but we are in a new zone, so I'm just learning the zone. And also new soil, new garden. So this here is butternut squash. Wait, no, this is butternut was supposed to be on the corner, but oh, we only have one at the end there. This is the yellow summer squash. And again, the old growth is yellow, the new growth is a lot greener, so I really do think they appreciated the fertilizer. These are aromas. You can see the difference in size from the ones in the greenhouse. These are only about like 18 inches to 2 feet high, and they're already producing tomatoes, which is telling me that the plant got really stressed and it was trying to reproduce as soon as possible because it thought it was dying. We will probably get some small Roma tomatoes, but it's not going to be the big goal I had. But it's okay. I think the fertilizer helped a lot because they're not as yellow as they were. Now this is butternut squash. The old leaves are pretty yellow. New growth is a lot greener. Same thing for this squash here, yellow summer squash. And these are San Marzano. They're indeterminate San Marzano, so they're supposed to be on a trellis. Oh, you see, Japanese beetle. Yeah, they're supposed to be on a trellis, so I'll do this thing here for this row too as soon as I can. But anyways, you can definitely see the difference between these tomatoes and the ones in the greenhouse. I'll just put the footage of the greenhouse again here. It's crazy. So yeah, it's okay. It's a new year, new soil. It has to be established. It'll be fine next year. And for this third bed here, we had a pumpkin here, which I don't think we're gonna get pumpkin, but it's fine. It's a baby plant and we're getting pretty late already, but it's okay. I'm not gonna be mad about it. Also, there's a butterfly. Are these like the cabbage moth kind of butterfly? Not sure. It looks like it. The kale is doing not as bad as I thought because it is like a cool crop, and usually it likes cool weather, and it's been so hot. Like today it's really hot. I don't know how much I don't know the temperature, but it's in the like 30 Celsius. I'm surprised that it's doing this good. It did rain all day yesterday and it was pretty cloudy, so I think they liked that. And it's pretty early right now. I think it's like 10 a.m. So hi. So maybe by the end of the day they won't be super happy, but we have been eating a bit of it, and honestly I'm pretty happy with it. It's not as big as it should be, but it's still kale nonetheless. And for the beans here, they're all yellow bush beans. The plants are super yellow. They did get fertilizer, and I can see that the new growth, like this plant here, is doing much better than the other ones. And I can see the new growth is actually a lot greener than the old growth, the older leaves. Like this is an older leaf and this is a newer one. You can see it's a bit greener. And we are getting our first bush beans here. Look at this tiny guy. I've never grown bush beans, so I'm super happy about it, even though it's not gonna produce much. Oh, there's another one here. I got yellow because I find that it seems more like easier to harvest. I think the same thing as like for zucchinis. I like to get the yellow ones because they're just easier to see, but I found that the green ones produced a lot better. So next year I'll do a little bit of both, but I think I'll go back to the green ones. But yeah, this is the pumpkin, bean, and kale bed. This is dinosaur kale, by the way. That's why I'm saying it's supposed to be a lot bigger than this. And this is another pumpkin here. There's like chicken manure on the leaf. And yeah, the new growth is a lot greener than the old leaves, so that's encouraging. And then the fourth bed is the onion bed. So this is green onions. We have been harvesting. I harvested one the other day. I pulled it because it was so big. It's the biggest green onion I've ever seen. I don't know if I have a picture. If I do, I'll put it here, but I'm not sure I took a picture. And then I realized, why am I harvesting the whole thing? I should just cut them because they, oh my god, this weed is huge. What the hell? I weeded this bed like maybe 2 days ago, and weeds grow so fast. What's their problem? Okay. Oh, so yeah, I realized, why don't I just cut the green onions so they can continue to grow throughout the season? So that's what we've been doing. We just cut some as we need it in the kitchen. And these leeks are not producing super well. I mean, they're okay, but they're super small. They look like green onion size. But it's okay. We'll have small leeks and it's fine. The season is not over either, so they have time to grow. There's so much weeds in here. Oh my goodness. And then the onions, we've got Walla Walla. This is early globe. We have one huge one here. And then this is Walla Walla, which is doing great. Look at this guy. It's beautiful. This guy, it's big. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this bed here. And then the dollar store onions, if you followed the journey, these were started by from sets, and they're actually pretty small. So at first I was happy because they were the first ones coming up, and I was like, man, I might get my onions from the dollar store every year or from sets every year, but they're pretty small compared to my Walla Walla onions that I started indoors. So not sure. We might just eat these as like shallots, but then again, I don't know what type of onions these are supposed to be. It just said onions, so maybe they are kind of a shallot type of onion. I'm not sure. And then the potatoes are doing great. They're actually already starting to die back, which is what you want, right? You want the whole plant to die before you harvest. I haven't topped these bags with more soil, which I should do so that I can produce more and more potatoes. With everything that's been happening, I didn't do that, but I do check every morning to make sure there's no potatoes coming up like at the surface of the soil, and I don't see any, so we're still good. These are still dollar store onions. How's this soil doing? It's great. Okay, and then this bed here is looking drab. It's not looking good at all. We do have 2 celeriacs here that I don't think are going to produce much. One celeriac died here, or celery root, whichever how you pronounce it. My chamomile is looking pretty yellow, but this is the annual chamomile, by the way. The down by the house is perennial chamomile, and I've been harvesting so much here, and because we had a week where things were not going well and we were grieving, I haven't been harvesting, and some of them are super big and some of them are getting a lot older and are too late to harvest, but I'm just leaving some for the bees and they're pretty happy. And I will come here later and harvest a bit more chamomile. Sorry for the dogs, the neighbor just got home. And then we have 3 dinosaur kales in the middle here that are not doing great. Look at this guy, poor little guy. The dwarf kale, it's supposed to be small, so it's like, I wish it was just a bit bigger, but you know, it is dwarf kale and it's doing pretty good. Besides yellowing here, it's just, you know, it's a cool crop, so it's normal that it's not doing super good in the heat of summer, but it's actually doing a lot better than I thought for a cool crop. So this bed here looks horrible. This was supposed to be, it's mostly a weed bed now, but it was supposed to be beets all around, and I don't know why my beets are not doing anything. Like, what the hell is this? This is a weed, but the red leaves are beets. Look at this. It's not doing anything. And then the zucchini, I'm starting to realize that direct sowing in my climate is not good. Everything I've direct sowed is super slow, or it's not coming up, especially in this first year soil that has never had organic matter in it. So maybe next year will be better, but I'm realizing that every time I direct sow, it's never like super prolific for me. Maybe I don't water enough at the beginning, and I don't baby it enough. I think that's my problem. So I think I'm gonna go back to starting everything inside. That's what I did last year, and last year I had beautiful zucchinis. I had 6 plants, and we ate zucchini every morning with our breakfast. We love it. And I was so looking forward to it this year, but we're not gonna get zucchini because these are our 2 plants. There's no time for them to produce. We have a super short summer here, so they're not gonna have time to produce. But I'm gonna let them grow and see what they do, and maybe in the fall we'll get 1 zucchini, who knows. But it seems it wants to flower here, which is like super tiny. It's too small. But yeah, these were yellow zucchinis. I feel like they're easier to spot, but I think I'll go back to green zucchini, maybe a bit of both next year, but I will definitely start them inside. I know that some plants don't like transplanting, like cucumbers, but last year I transplanted my cucumbers and they looked horrible at first, but they perked back up with some fertilizer after. So I'll just continue doing that, because you'll see my cucumbers in the next bed. I direct sowed them, and they're, like I said, it is the first year and this soil needs a bit of help, so that's not helping. But anyways, yeah, these are teddy bear sunflowers in the middle, and they're not really coming up that much. And the beets, like, this is just a weed bed. So I was thinking maybe of doing like a fall crop here. Our season is super short, so I don't know if I have time for a fall crop, but we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing with this. Maybe some spinach. I can do a spinach bed when it gets a bit colder. The next bed is the peppers. Look at this. They're horrible. I hope you can see as well on camera, but they're like a foot tall, not even. They're losing their bottom leaves. Look at these 2 jalapeno plants. We do have 1 jalapeno, but look at these poor things. they're not doing good. And this guy is producing a weird fruit, the weirdest bell pepper ever. Oh, there's some eggs. Okay, I don't know what that was from. But yeah, it's not supposed to make a pepper when it's this scrunchy and small. So what I'm thinking is that it's the same thing as tomatoes that put up fruit too early. It's stressed and it thinks it's gonna die, so it wants to produce its seeds to reproduce as soon as possible. So that's what I'm thinking is happening with this little guy here. But look at these. Oh my god, they're not doing good. But I did put some fertilizer in there, and they will be helping my soil nonetheless, so that next year we have a better season, a better growing season. And then in the middle are turnips. I did not thin them. Well, no, that's not true. Actually, I did thin them a little bit, but maybe not enough. You can see some turnips here. They're gonna be super small, but it's fine. It's fine. Look at this one here. That's the biggest one we have. It's about 2 inches wide. It's pretty cute. But yeah, the turnips, everything is not doing good. And these are the cucumbers. These are Lebanese cucumbers, and there's no time for them to make cucumbers. Like, look at this. And then we have the pickling cucumbers. Oh my god, they're already making little flowers. Oh guys, it's too early for you to make flowers, poor thing. Aw, this is a pickling. Oh my god, look at this screw. That's dangerous. But yeah, these are the pickling cucumbers. And this is lettuce. It's red lettuce. There's nothing to say about it. It's not growing much anymore. Yeah. So yeah, that's this poor bed. I'll put a picture. I'll put the footage from earlier from the greenhouse here, so you can compare both. Oh, poor things. They did get some fertilizer, like I said, and some fish fertilizer too. So the fish fertilizer is like a quick acting fertilizer, so it can help it right away. And then the pellets I put the next day, the chicken manure pellets, they're a slow release fertilizer. So we're not gonna see much improvement right away, but I do see a little bit of improvement already. So I will put some more fish fertilizer maybe next week. And then it's a tomato bed. So this is the Roma bed. It's looking a lot better now that it had fertilizer. I wish I would have taken some footage of when it was not doing good at all, but nonetheless it's doing a lot better. The basil is coming back. There's a bit of sun scald here, but it's fine. And yeah, it's they're already making fruit. Like, Roma plants are not supposed to be super big, but they're supposed to be a bit bigger than that. Maybe like more like in the greenhouse. But still, you know, it's not looking awful. It's still, I think it's still looking good compared to how it was. Yeah. This is marigold in the middle. It hasn't produced any flowers yet, so it's going to be late, but whatever. My tomatoes are doing good without it, so that's good. And we'll get some late flowers for the bees. And then this is the last bed. There's carrots here. I thinned them a little bit, but not much. So they're gonna be super tiny carrots, and I don't care. Not that I gave up. I didn't give up. I didn't neglect, but I didn't give up. I'm just accepting the fact that it's the first year and the soil has to establish itself. So I'm letting things grow how it wants to grow, so that it can also feed the soil. I think the soil health is the priority this year, so that's what I'm concentrating on, and then having veggies is secondary. But yeah, this is the other Roma tomato bed. So in total there's about 40 paste tomatoes, so that's counting the 4 paste tomatoes in the greenhouse, and then all of the rest of the paste tomatoes, and about 15 or so of cherry type tomatoes, and then the indeterminate paste tomatoes, there's about 4 or 5. So I was hoping to get like gallons and gallons of tomatoes, but we'll see what we get. So that's the garden tour. I have to admit, it's looking a lot better than what I thought it would be. So I'm happy about this tour. Like, I was afraid. Actually, I wanted to show you its worst, like how it was when it was at its worst, but I didn't get any footage of that. So yeah, we're in the orchard now. So this is the orchard, and this is our first little cherry tree. The leaves are doing super good. Obviously, we're not gonna get any fruit this year, but the plant looks healthy. I'm not showing it properly, but yeah, the plant looks healthy. This was Carmen Jewel cherry. This here is Romeo, and this caught up. Like, it was the smallest cherry one, the smallest cherry tree of the two, and this one catched up, and it's a lot bigger and fuller. So this is doing super good. This is our Macintosh. Look, it's so cute. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples, which I'm pretty happy about. Our neighbor does have 2 apple trees beside, so I think they're helping each other out. So that's good for a little tiny tree. And then this is summer red. It's not producing any apples this year, but it was the smallest tree, so I wasn't expecting it to. But it's looking healthy. It's looking good. The mulch is really helping. There was a lot of weeds the other day, and when we cut the grass, we also weeded everything. This is Bounty. I always have a Bounty pear, Harrowen Bounty pear. So we did have some pears on this, and they died because they didn't have a mate or anything, or whatever what happened. But the plant is still looking good, and I wasn't expecting to have any pears this year, any fruits, but it's looking pretty good, and I'm happy with it. And then this is the surprise, guys. This Bosque pear, Bosque ripe, yes. I said, like, when I planted this tree was already struggling. It had grubs and orange ants under, and just a lot of things happened to this plant, and it was actually dying. This branch was completely like no leaves. It was completely empty. I think this one too. And then all of a sudden there was a lot of rain and really hot weather, and it started producing beautiful leaves. It's covered itself with leaves now, and it's looking beautiful, and I'm super thankful, and I'm looking forward to having brown pears because they're my favorite. So obviously it won't be this year, but oh, there's a Japanese beetle. I hate them. And then this is another story here. This is the plums. You know this story already. They're not mates. One is purple and the other one is red, and they're not meant to match up and help the other produce. So next year I will have to get 2 other plum trees, which I don't know where I'll put. Maybe one here and one here, but I'll have to get a mate for both. But this plant and this plant, the 2 plums, have been attacked by Japanese beetles so badly, and right now there is none on it, which is super weird. But they kept, how can I say, I always found 2 Japanese beetles on top of each other, if you know what I mean. They're reproducing on these trees. They're loving it so much, but it's only leaves, and it's still thriving. It's doing good. There's no fruits. They're just interested in the leaves, and honestly there's enough leaves for it to still do its photosynthesis, so it's not doing too much damage. It's still looking kind of healthy. So next year I might put a net, or I might spray. If you guys know a good like organic spray that I could put that's not like super harsh, because I don't want to eat chemicals, please tell me in the comments what I could use for these Japanese beetles. This is the other, this was Stanley, by the way. I think this is the purple plum, and this is Pembina. I think Pembina is the red plum. So this one was doing good, and then it wasn't because of the Japanese beetles, and right now it's got 2 empty branches that have no leaves on it, but it's not, I mean, it's not looking good, but it's not dead. So that's all I can look forward to, is it's not dead. And then the strawberries, these are this is Pathfinder and this is Caroline, and something keeps digging in there and removing my tags for some reason. I don't know what the problem is with tags. Something doesn't like it. But yeah, it's producing pretty good. We did eat a couple of raspberries already. Caroline is not doing as well as Pathfinder. Pathfinder is really producing so much. I mean, look at these, like, raspberries everywhere. There's a lot. There. We did eat a lot down here, but yeah, it's looking beautiful. I think it's loving the acidic fertilizer that I gave it. So next, Phil did install this kind of a twine trellis for these raspberries here. These are the purple raspberries, Glencoe purple thornless raspberry, and they're doing pretty great. I did see a deer the other day right here. I looked at the deer from my window and I was like, oh, it's gonna go for my raspberries. And then I yelled in the window and I made some noise to scare it off, and it just like took off a big branch and was eating it and was looking at me eating the raspberry branch. I was like, you little, it's like eating it right in my face. But I don't mind. I did get some netting for birds for my blueberries and raspberries, but I honestly don't mind that the wildlife is eating it. And we're still like establishing our garden, so nothing ate my garden this year, and I'm thinking it's just because they haven't found it because it's the first year. So maybe next year I'll have to put the gate, a fence. I did buy a fence and posts. I just didn't install them because I was like, there's nothing so far, so we're good for this year. But yeah, maybe next year. But they are finding the fruits, which is fine. Eventually we'll grow everything, like we'll have more and more, so we'll probably have plenty to share. And then these Northland blueberries are doing pretty good. It's not blueberry season yet here, but we did have a couple of blueberries we were able to munch on already, so they're a bit sour because it's not the season. But yeah, they're doing pretty good. A lot better than when I used to have them in pots. So I think this pretty much ends our garden tour. I'm pretty happy about what the garden is looking like and the property. It's so much cleaner than what it was when we first moved. The old owners had a lot of crap laying around, and I think we made a good cleanup of the place, and I'm pretty happy about the progress. But yeah, this old shed here, it's leaning, it's just falling apart. We're thinking of tearing this down pretty soon. We wanted to do it over the weekend. We wanted to just make a big pile of stuff and then calling in a big bin later, but we realized it would be better to have the bin already here before we destroy all of it. We will be keeping a lot of stuff though, a lot of wood and all. This will be upcoming in our next videos, so I really hope to see you all there. And again, I want to thank everyone because you guys have been, I'm gonna go inside because it's so hot. You guys have been so nice in the comments. Yeah, yes, we'll go outside. Yes, you guys have been so amazing and so nice with everything that we've been going through and patient, and I really enjoy this community and your support. So I really hope you will continue to grow with me and with this channel, and please do check if you're subscribed. I know that sometimes you think you're subscribed and then you go check and you're not even subscribed. So if you want to help me out with that, that would be amazing. And I really hope, yes, I'm gonna put you outside. Yes, yes, yes. Just wait like 2 minutes. I just want to say bye. So you guys have a really good day, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Yes. And by the way, this is today's harvest. Some chamomile. I left a lot for the bees, but it's gonna be enough for now. And all this basil, I'm gonna process this into pesto and put it all into cubes like this for the freezer, so that when we want pesto, it's a super quick supper. And then I bring everything in the pantry downstairs, and this is where I dry everything. So this is all ready right now. Peppermint, oregano, lemon balm, stevia, chamomile, and this one's empty. I always put a little tag because once it's dry, you can barely tell what type of leaf it is. So I'm just gonna store all this into my jars, and I'll put the new chamomile on this rack, and I leave it there about a week. Sometimes I forget it for 2 weeks, but I keep it there until it's dry and until I just put new one there. And that's it.